Friends, family, subscribers to the YouTube channel, Adventuring with the S.G.O.C.C. So, here's one of the changes we're making to the inventory for 2025. Been trying to trade, swap, whatever. I have a DJI drone for sale with the intention, also a Jackson guitar, of adding another more sophisticated AR-15, non-binary of course, to the channel. Non-binary just means it's 5.56, which means it can shoot 223 or 5.56. That's a funny joke from my friend Craig at King's Armory. Anyhow, so after much consideration and not being able to really work a reasonable deal with somebody offered me $100 for the DJI drone. That's crazy because they list for a lot more, and used ones in good shape, which this one is, go for 3.5, and I was willing to take 2.25. Anyhow, so instead of seeking a new AR to add to the inventory, since I have more than one, my personal AR has a forward mount, hand grip, has some furniture. I've got a couple of these rascals laying around, and one of them's on my AR. I can't remember where the other one is. Oh, on the 45 carbine rifle. One of them. We have two. Tim has one, but it's in his safe. So what we're going to do is this is a DPMS AR-15 in 5.56. It is a very solid performer. It is all metal. It's got a plastic stock, plastic heat shield, and the old style foresight. What we're going to do is, I have had for some time a Vortex Crossfire scope. Now, when I got this, the intention was to put this on a whole different rifle, but that rifle has since been sold. But the Vortex Crossfire scope is a 7x32, but more importantly, it's nitrogen purged and has O-ring seals. So it is a good candidate to put on an AR-15 platform, because an AR-15 is not the most stable platform. If you're going to put a scope on one, you want two things. You want steel upper and lower to go with your steel barrel, because the more weight that you have in your platform, the more controlled ballistically you will have. And a scope wants less rattling, less shock to it, and having a steel upper and lower, this is not a light rifle. You can tell everything is the way it should be, but it's not a light rifle. I gotta put a little light dot on that. I don't want a light rifle that I'm going to put a scope on. My other one has furniture galore on it, but it is a little bit lighter than this one. Since all this one has is this old style foresight, because I took this rascal off it. I don't much care for these. Like I said, I've got 2 or 3. So the only thing I don't like about putting a scope on an AR-15, and I've shot other ARs that have scopes, is a lot of people mount the scope so far back. Let me show you. They mount the scope so far back in something like this, because you have to have enough room for your front scope mount. So the problem is, where this cover is on the right side of this scope on the back happens to be exactly where the charging handle is. For me, it just feels clumsy having a scope right here when you go to pull the charging handle back, because you have to hug the stock, the rear stock, and kind of keep your fingers as flat as possible and have them go down around the upper when you go to pull back the charging handle. You can't just use your fingertips like you normally would, because that's entirely too tall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my friend Craig. This is one of the things I like about the Vortex Crossfire, besides price, is it's a shorter scope. So I can move this forward on the mount with a simple little riser. You can buy them over the counter. With that riser, I can move the scope forward. That's going to allow me to properly grip the charging handle, which is all good. This is coming off. Yeah, both my rifles have the accommodation with a rear clip. This one is fixed. It doesn't move at all like the front clip does. But both my ARs that I have here, I can easily put on a single sling. I don't remember what the one that Tim has looks like. I don't remember if it has that or not. But this has the plastic heat guard, so you can grab the 4-stock. It's technically a 4-stock, but it just keeps the barrel heat from annihilating your hand. If I need to, I might move this forward a little bit to make room for the scope. But the idea is that we're going to have an AR-15 with a scope. And I'm going to show something to the audience. If you know, you know. But this is going to be in an upcoming video. It's not going to be crazy. We're not going to, go shoot a refrigerator or a washer or dryer or something. We've got a spot picked out in the desert where it's very controlled, no brush, it's all dirt. We're in the high desert, so you don't see a lot of sand. But we're going to have fire extinguishers. We're going to have another crew there to make sure if anything happens, we can quell it right quick, because even though it's just brush here in the high desert, a wildlands fire here can breeze through acreage in a matter of minutes, and it can be devastating. There are areas that's just wide open desert. That's great. But what we don't want to do is take a risk of causing property damage or harm to the areas that we go shoot at, or the place that we're going to go and set those off with. It's probably going to be nothing more than we're going to take those tubs you get when you're moving or storing stuff. Take one of those, flip it upside down with one of those in the middle, inside it, shoot it. Now they recommend 223 or stronger, so you can't use a 22 Magnum. But this is going to get a scope to make it more accurate, and just because scopes on ARs seem to be coming back. I know these things were popular for a while. I prefer a scope. I don't know if it's my old man eyes or if it's the way I came up, with my father and his friends learning to shoot big bore, big game rifles with scopes. We have a lot of scopes on a lot of our guns. I don't have a scope on any of my AR platform guns. That's going to change when I take this down, and I've already worked a deal to get this scope mounted. I've got the scope rings. It's all set. It's not going to, I think he said he's going to $20 or something. So that's easy enough. Look for this rifle, the DPMS, that we will be using in an upcoming video. Now, all DPMS is the budget-friendly Palmetto Arms AR platform. It's still an AR. It's quality made, but it doesn't have, like Daniel Defense has a big name. You pay a lot for that name. If you're gonna get an AR with a national brand name that's been around for 100 years, like Colt, you're gonna pay for that. DPMS, good, solid, reliable gun. I have 3 that carry that brand name on them. I've never had a problem. As long as you keep your pew-pews oiled, cared for, if they need some attention, give it to them. They're going to work fine. And in the end, all it is a tool. If you take care of your tools will take care of you. So this one is going to get a scope. And that's one of the big changes for 2025. I think we're going to also, the Ruger 30-06 Ruger American that we have, I noticed that because of the humidity of swamp coolers, it looks like the adhesive between the barrel and the stock is a little bit loose. So I'm going to have to take that apart, redo it, so that it will continue to be a match grade weapon. So that's about it for this issue. We're going to try to get out here soon. We're having fluctuating weather. It's cool, it's hot, it's cool, it's hot. Today it's reasonably warm, which is why I'm wearing a tank top. But we're experiencing a bit of high winds intermittently, and it's really hard to be really accurate shooting in high winds. I don't have the expertise or the math skills to do on-the-fly trigonometry to adjust for wind. So I just wait till it's not a windy day. That's as simple as it gets. So that's that. This has been a Fun Brothers production, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon out on the range. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.